right, Panther fans. There we go. Stu's got it. Stu's got his victory cigar, and yeah. So that was 3 games. That was 3 games in one night, pretty much. We were whooping their ass, then they were whooping our ass, then we finished whooping their ass.
I
And
wouldn't say they whooped our ass. I think
well, in the three in the space of time where they got the 3 goals, I mean,
no, we just had a moment of
yeah, temporary loss of
temporary loss of limb.
of everything. We forgot everything. We forgot how to play team defense, Bob. Forgot how to play goaltending. And so, yeah, it was what it was, a 7-4 final. And what do you got?
What do I got?
What do we got?
Well, I did watch your recap, and obviously you think alike. The Sherratt Uyghur combo is not working.
Yeah.
Chemistry is not there. I said it before that Forsling and Uyghur should be the pair that's out there, because when Ekblad went down last year, they did a pretty good job together, and they seem to be in tune with each other.
Right.
Now, again, Sherratt's only been with the team, a few games, but
Right.
from what we see right now,
Right.
so I think Bruno had Forsling and Uyghur out there a couple of times, but he's not consistent. I mean, last night was like just throw all the players' hats and names in a hat and shake it up and pull it out. That's kind of sort of what it felt like last night. But it'd be interesting to see, Forsling and Uyghur and Sherratt and Gudis. But you're also right on the third pair. I don't know why this kid Haig is playing. Not a kid, but
right.
I want Carlson back as well. If not Carlson, Lindbaum. I'm not sold on this guy Haig.
No.
I really don't. I just whatever.
Right.
But he's played 3 games now. I think it's time to sit him and
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. Carlson didn't do anything wrong.
No. All he did was be invisible, which is what you need out of your 6D. And the thing about the pairs, before anybody thinks I'm complaining about Uyghur, I'm not. But to me, I figure when I'm thinking towards the playoffs, and I'm thinking chemistry. So when Ekblad comes back, you're going to have Ekblad and Uyghur. And if you go then with Forsling and Gudis, then Sherratt's going to be with Montour. I would start that pair now.
Absolutely.
Because why are we struggling to get Sherratt and Uyghur chemistry, and they're going to change it the night of the first game in the playoffs? It's not making any sense.
So I totally agree with you, unless they're paired together in practice. But no, I agree with you 100% on that. But yeah, so right now I'm not comfortable with the defense the way it is also.
No. And then the power play.
And I'm not even gonna harp on who, but
well, the thing now is the power play, and that's another thing we broke that wasn't. Now I know we lost Ekblad, okay, but we changed everything else too just for Giroux. It's not working.
Right, I was just about to segue into that.
Yeah, go ahead.
While we're on the subject of chemistry, and we talked about it last night during the game. Who says we have to put Giroux on the first power play?
Right.
We had a power play that was finally clicking.
Right.
Put that back together and leave it alone, and get Gudis off there. I mean Giroux off there, because it's not working, and it's not that. He's a great player. It's just, again, the most important thing is chemistry.
Right.
And I would put Montour out there. I really would. Quarterbacking. Yeah. He's
Look, that's twice now that Barkov has lost the puck handling it at the blue line, running the power play. And look, defensemen are used to swiveling their hips that fast to catch up to guys. And that's twice that Barkov has looked awfully clumsy swiveling those hips to all of a sudden turn around and he's not catching the guy.
He's not comfortable up there.
He's not coming. Exactly.
That's what, he looks uncomfortable. Looks indecisive. He's
Right.
out of his natural position. And again, we're not the coach. And
Right.
this coach happens to be very stubborn. He's set in his ways, and he's not going to change just because two Panther fans on a podcast are telling him what to do. But
maybe he needs to have an interview on my show, if you catch my drift. You'd listen to that one.
So
well,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, and as far as the lines last night,
I had fun with it. I mean,
granted. Lundberg had 2 goals because I said to you, why is he on the top line? You said he had 2 goals. Well, one of the goals was when he was on the third line or fourth line.
Yeah, well, whatever.
And the other one, he just happened to be with Barkov.
Right.
But you're messing with lines that, you need to stay with your lines. I'm not sold on the Barkov, Verhaeghe, Giroux pairing.
No, neither
First
am I.
of all, I'm really soured on Verhaeghe. To me, he's Vinny Jr. He really is a puck hog.
Well,
he passes when he has to.
Right.
So
right.
whatever.
Right.
I mean, again, I'm not
Yeah,
getting on this morning and just totally ragging on this guy and that guy. It's just observations that I see.
Yeah. No.
But that's who they have paired. They have Verhaeghe and Barkov. And again, when they tried Reinhart with Barkov and Verhaeghe, when Reinhart came to the team, that didn't work out.
Right.
So again, maybe I'm not giving it enough time. I mean, look how many games it took Reinhart to get settled in here. And then once he did, it's almost like the light switch went on, and all of a sudden he's scoring, a point or 2 a game. So,
So here's, I haven't said this, and I'm about to give my brother some credit, so he'll be happy here. And then it might point to a different issue here. So the first thing is that on one hand, I've been the one preaching as well. Give it some time. Give Giroux some time to have the chemistry and everything. And my brother texted back, Sam Bennett didn't need any time. And I was like, okay. And then now I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, how many years have we been trying to find the right guy to have the chemistry with Barkov? Maybe it's not the other guy that's the problem. I mean, and we've tried how many guys to have the chemistry on that wing with Barkov, and the only real, I mean, he's got some with Verhaeghe, but mainly it's him and Huberdeau, and then a rotation of guys to try to replace Huberdeau, because we don't want to put everybody on that top line.
I think Dadonov had some chemistry with him.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, but he
Hoffman
needs. Yeah, well, he could, but that's the thing, is he needs shoot first guys. And what I'm seeing with Giroux and Barkov is like, who wants to pass first? Drew, and when Drew, and now into Drew's defense, when he is shooting, he's missing in the net. So he is taking shots, but he keeps missing it. He's probably holding the stick a little bit too tight. So I'm hoping that once that dam breaks, that that'll be okay. But they did move a little bit yesterday. We put Bennett up top with Barkov and had Giroux centering the second line.
I don't want to see that. I want Bennett and Huberdeau to be
right.
Unless they do the Barkov, Huberdeau, and Giroux thing, which I'm okay with also. But but Bruno's got to do something and stick with it and not keep.
Right.
It's almost like the whole Tippett thing, where he never played consistently with the same line mates.
Right. No, very, very.
So I mean, listen, you go back in time to all the great lines. Okay, Trottier, Bossy, Gillies. For those Ranger fans, John Rattel, Rod Gilbert, Vic Hatfield. You go to Phil Esposito, Wayne Cashman, and Ken Hodge.
Right.
Okay, so I'm just, thinking, set your lines and stick with them.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Now, last night, because of the Lombard thing, and because I think it was a unique situation, because when the Chari goes out, now you're left with Joe and Lombard, right? And so it's like, what do you do with these guys? Because otherwise, now you're gonna double shift one of your wingers, better wingers, and put Joe in the middle with Lombard and a guy they don't know, or you do what he did and just rest a winger at a time and put Joe and Lombard wherever in the lineup. You only got two choices. And I guess he figured, I mean, Lombard's energy was going, you know, and I mean, look, I know it's Ryan Lombard, but he was working when he got up there on that top line. He was working a hell of a lot harder than Claude Giroux was working. I mean, he was possessing the hell out of that puck. So maybe there was a little bit there. I thought this during the game. Maybe there was just a little bit for Brunette to be like, hey, look, that's how you need to play with Barkov, right? Because got a goal.
Listen, on that second Huberdeau goal, Lombard is the guy that intercepted the pass,
right,
and fed it down to Barkov,
right, right,
and Barkov to Hubie. So give credit on that goal to Lombard. Yeah. Listen, for we all love Lombard,
right.
He might not be, a top line player, but you put him on the top line, he's not going to embarrass you.
Exactly. No, we saw that last night,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Lombard or Mammon, who do I pick?
Oh, yeah. Lombard. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
We're calling Mammon the invisible man.
Exactly.
But, and I agree with you on the Heponiemi, Denisenko, not so much Denisenko, but Heponiemi.
Right.
I really wish they would call him up and throw him on Barkov's line. And call me crazy, another Finn playing with Barkov. Too much pressure, maybe, being on the top line, but it's worth trying. And I think once they expand the rosters and they bring him up, who knows what we'll see. But what's incredible is we have so much depth, and we do have the pieces to move around.
Yeah.
That we're deadly. We're deadly. I mean, Reinhardt, Bennett, and Huberdeau sounds like a great line. But I want to see, listen, hopefully we're going to get Lundell back real soon.
Yeah, he's skating.
And that's going to change the dynamic once again for the
Oh,
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, and I'm hoping when he does come back, they put that Marchment, Reinhardt, Lundell, they put that line back together. And then obviously, you got Bennett, Huberdeau, and Duclair. And then again, hopefully for Hagee, Barkov, and Giroux will start clicking.
Right.
And then you got, your Lombard, Hornquist, and Achari. But
Luosterainen.
Yeah. You got to give him credit.
Yeah,
he played a great game last night.
Yeah, he's really playing well. He's not scoring, but everything else.
All right, he got the assist on the shorty, but listen, he might not put up the points, but he's contributed.
Right, exactly.
I mean, his corner play, board play, I should say, corner play, whatever, is fantastic. Him and Marchment are the best.
Yeah.
I mean, Marchment doesn't lose the puck. And of course, it just seems crazy to me. He's only got 15 goals, Marchment, and it seems like he's got 25. He seems to always be scoring.
Remember, he missed. Was it a month he missed? He missed. Yeah.
Just a man, and he was rolling. That line was rolling right before he got hurt.
Yep.
But, so whatever, he's back now. But another crucial. I mean, just another important goal. And obviously give credit to Bennett. Bennett was all over the place last night.
Yep.
Bennett's, and another amazing story. I mean, think about getting those two guys, Reinhardt and Bennett, for practically nothing.
Yeah, with 2 2s. That's it, because Reinhardt
No,
was
for practically nothing.
right.
Yeah, it was two
And
I
what did we
think
give up
second
for?
round picks to Calgary,
Yeah,
and then Reinhardt, it was Levy and a pick. It's
and a
just
pick. Yeah,
incredible what Zito did with those two guys. But
yeah,
anyway, so let's talk about the game.
yeah.
Okay. We dominate in the first 5 minutes or whatever it was, and the first shot on net is a goal.
Yes.
And if you notice in the goal, I don't know what made him fall, but on that goal, Uyghur is like falling and like sliding into the goal. So something
Yeah,
must have
yeah,
happened.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. But obviously he's on the ice for that goal. Okay. So then we tie it up with the shorty. Right? Great play.
Yep.
And then we, go on this tear. We're up 4-1.
Hmm.
Opening up the floodgates to another 7-8 game, goal game.
Yep.
It's only the second period. We're rolling. And what happens?
I just
Let's take a nap
Let's take a nap.
and wait till the final horn goes off. We got this game.
Yeah.
Forgot. We're playing in the NHL. Any
Yeah.
team can, come back. And what happens? All right, listen. We let in one goal. Okay. When that first goal went in, I'm like, okay, it's 4-2.
Yeah, whatever.
But then 30 seconds later, they score another one. Now it's 4-3. And I'm like, oh my, here we go again.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that last one, we agreed Bob should have had that.
Yeah.
And then, and so now it's 4-4, and I'm just like shaking my head, like,
yeah. Are
we gonna blow this game?
Right.
Luckily, the period ended, and obviously, I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall in that room, because I'm sure if you went from stall to stall, you'd see everybody must have been pissed as could be.
Yeah.
So, I was texting Randy in between period, and Randy wrote to me, and it was really good because he was right on about it. He said, so I wrote shocking, and he wrote UGH, ugh, still a period to go. We have scored our way out of trouble all season. Just win a period. And that's what happened. And I wrote back to him, I'm sure the boys are really pissed off. Now they just have to transfer that anger to the ice. We need to get a goal in the first 5 minutes. And that's what happened.
Yep. That's exactly what happened. Exactly.
Got our goal right away and turned the momentum back. And
look, this time of year, I keep saying, that whole thing where the Panthers have the easiest schedule because of the record of the teams. This time of year, it's always those bitch ass last place teams that change their coach or bring up new guys, or the old guys are playing for new contracts with new teams next year, and they're always a pain in the ass.
They got nothing to lose.
They got nothing to lose. Right.
So they're playing loosey goosey.
Right. And look, Montreal beat Toronto the night before they beat us. So the Montreals, the Buffaloes, the Ottawas, the this weekend, what do we got? What is it? The Devils and the Islanders or something? Don't walk into those thinking, oh, it's an afternoon walk in the park. At noon, games are at like 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Freaking pissing me off. I can't go fishing. But that's a different story. That's a different video. But forget about easy, man. Because even when you get the 4-1 lead, game 30, you get a 4-1 lead in Montreal, they're packing it in, they're done. They're done. They don't care. Now, no, you can't pack it in. You got to keep pouring it on. There are no easy games. This is not going to happen.
No easy games. That is correct.
Yeah. So, other than that, there's some things I'm like we've talked about the Giroux and the chemistry. I'm not worried about them as a player. And hopefully, like exactly what you said is like what Brunette said. It's like, okay, we gave Hague 3 games, put Carlson back in. I don't know why they're so hell-bent on replacing Carlson. When we had him as the 6th and everybody was healthy, that was the best run of defense that we had.
Yeah. And then I liked his offense ability.
Yeah.
Montour, he and Montour seem to be in sync with each other.
Right.
I don't know, Eric, we're not the coach.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So,
But let's see what, I mean, he really has to get these guys, back in the lineup somehow. I mean, when was the last time Carlson played between Lindbaum and
right. Yeah. No, it's
and
been,
Haig?
yeah.
I don't think Carlson's played in over a month.
No, that's about right. That's about right.
And you gotta keep a guy sharp.
Yeah.
Practice doesn't do it.
No,
So-
no. So hopefully, and look, none of those guys are gonna be playing when Ekblad comes back healthy anyway. So like we said, that's the other part to it, is that maybe you start getting Montour and Sherratt ready to play together so they have their chemistry, because that's gotta be, the assumption is you're not gonna break up Ekblad and Uyghur and then forcing Agudas to play together all year. So that leaves.
I didn't, I didn't even think about that until you mentioned it, but that is such a good point. That really is a good point. So got to give some props to Jumbo last night. I thought he had a good game.
Yeah, I mean, look, Yager is probably looking at it like, okay, I can come back. I play one game a month and I look good.
But he had a nice assist on Lundberg's goal. And I just thought he was engaged. And it's, listen,
I mean, how many games in a row can he give you? That's the question, right? It's like, how many games in a row? If we needed him in the playoffs, how many games like that can he give? Because if he plays like that, we're good. We're good, perfectly fine fourth line player, not hurting you. But what happens, when he asks how those legs are going to feel, how those legs feel this morning, Joe?
Yeah. Did you see what happened to Achari? Because I didn't.
Yeah, he kind of, I don't know if he got hit, but he went into the boards kind of awkwardly. And I believe it looked upper body to me, the way he hit the board. And then he kind of struggled getting off the ice. And then that was the end of that. So I'm remembering I saw it one time, but if I had to guess from my memory, it looked like maybe like a neck, shoulder type of thing, upper body type of thing.
Let's hope it's not that same pectoral thing that he had problems
That's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that till now. Yeah. So, and he's got to be hurt for him to be out for the ice. So
anyway, a couple of things like, that they got to work on the power play. And if it means taking Giroux off and going back to what was working a week, before they picked him up, then do it.
Yeah.
Our second unit, is pretty good, and, stick them on that line.
I mean, if you can make the switch in time to have, it wasn't broke. I think that's the thing is it wasn't broke. And Barkov's out of position. He doesn't look comfortable at all.
It's just a question of they were working on it so long to get it together.
Right.
And they were scoring. I think at one point they had 12 goals in 6 games, 12 power play goals in 6 games.
But the puck movement is gone back to being super slow again.
Super slow, indecisiveness, too many passes.
Yeah, I mean, you got time to take it. There's the pass from Barkov to Huberdeau.
Yeah, they're
Huberdeau still has the puck. You got time to take a sip of water in between the passes.
They're thinking too much.
Yeah.
So got to work on that. I think the PK is pretty good. The defensive pairings, need some work on that. Not going to say we don't have any problems with the goaltending, other than an occasional,
occasional
soft goal let in. I'm curious to see who's going to play tomorrow.
I'd like to see an even split the rest of the way to keep Bob fresh and rested. As long as Spencer Knight is playing like that, let him go every other game into the playoffs. Bob.
Yeah, I'd like to see Knight in there tomorrow.
Yeah,
come back after the Toronto loss. Chicago.
Yeah. There's no reason.
It's not like Chicago's lighting it up.
Right.
But I'm supposed to go tomorrow night, so it'll be nice. I haven't been to a game, obviously, in a few weeks. So
yeah.
Other than that, and like you said, we got Jersey and then the Islanders.
Yeah.
2 games that we should win.
Yep. Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing Huberdeau break the record on Thursday.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They didn't even mention it on the NHL Network last night because it's such a well, let's just say it's not a well-known,
It's like an obscure.
yeah, it's an obscure, that's the word.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah,
obscure record. The
yeah,
most points by a left wing.
yeah.
Excuse me, the most assists by a
Most
left wing.
assists.
So, I mean, obviously we know he's going to break it. And then there's two other records that I'm looking forward to seeing. Number one is the wins, franchise wins,
Yeah,
which I think is 46, if I'm not mistaken. I think we get 50 wins this year.
yeah. It's looking that way.
And we're at 268 goals. And I can't wait to see us pass the 300 goal mark.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You know, we were talking about that on the stream the other night. Somebody had asked if the Panthers were close to the record for most goals in a season. The 1983-84 Oilers scored 446 goals.
Wow.
Yeah, that was our reaction. It was like, that's like 6 goals a game.
Yeah, I don't
Season.
see that. I don't see that record being broken.
Yeah, no, I couldn't believe it. I thought, well, they you know, it's got to be in the ballpark, right? 446 goals. That was just, I mean, I knew they were good, but good Lord.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So Tampa beat Carolina in overtime.
Okay.
So we're tied with Carolina.
Okay, that's
for,
good.
For most points in the conference.
Okay.
What do we got? 96 now, right?
96, 97, yeah.
No, I think it was an even number. So we either have 94 or 96. I think it's 96.
Let's give us 98.
So you know, we're still on track.
Right,
for
right,
our
right.
120, 118, 120. But I really want to see us get the conference.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge.
But with 6 points up on Tampa,
right?
Both have 16 games left. Can you imagine? We got only 16 games left. I mean, the season is just like flown by.
Yeah.
Before we know it, we'll be talking, playoff preview.
Yep. And so, we're not going to have a lot of time to work that out either, because we're probably not going to know who we play until the last game. And then like 2 days later, the playoffs start. So the playoff preview videos will be hastily put together, because we won't know the matchups until basically the day we have to do the video. So yeah, but that's fine. Yeah, that like I said against Ottawa when we had to come back and win, it's like, these are the games, these are the points that come game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Canes. Should we get that far, these are the points that are going to make the difference between at Carolina or at Florida. And I know it sounds like a far off thing, but if it happens, we're going to be awfully pissed off if we don't get 2 out of these games. And these are the points.
Yeah,
that's it.
Exactly. Losing the teams we should beat,
right,
is always something to get just aggravates the crap out of me. And hopefully Carolina will lose a couple of those games that they expect to win. So it goes both ways.
If somehow we could get, no, I don't.
But one other thing.
Go ahead.
Frankie V's got 5 goals.
Yeah, I saw it's funny, a girl that does videos for the Rangers popped up on my recommended, and I watched her video, and this poor girl, I think the Rangers think that they've got the second coming of Jaromir Jagr on their team, and I wrote a very nice comment. I was basically like, look, just trust me when I tell you, he's gonna play his ass off for 2 weeks and make you think he belongs on the top line, and then he's gonna disappear and he's gonna start shooting high and wide, and then the stupid penalties are gonna come, and then he's gonna mope, and then he's gonna get moved down or benched, and then eventually he'll start playing hot again, rinse and repeat over and over and over again. I said, so enjoy it now, because us Panther fans, we know in about 10 days you'll be like, what the hell happened to Vetrano? He looks so good.
Yeah, but it's like predictable, because he did the same thing here.
Right.
But I'm happy for him,
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Look, he picked it up I looked when I was making the comment. He picked it up at the end of last season. He only had 10 goals the first 40 games, and in the last 16 he got 8. And then he actually had a goal and an assist in the playoffs. So he did pick it up towards the end of last season. So maybe he's just that kind of guy. But he's happy, he's energized, fresh. We knew he
I
just
think
needed a fresh start.
from what I saw last night, I think he was playing with Panarin.
Yeah, the thing about that is that if Ekblad gets injured first, we don't make that trade. Because we only did it for the cap space that we don't need now.
Right.
Ekblad gets hurt first, Vetrano's on this team. There would have been we certainly don't need to trade him to the Rangers because we only did it for the cap space. So
Right.
I've kind of thought about that. That's one of those crisscrossing things that I wonder if it's going to come back to bite us in the ass in the playoffs. The day that trade happened, I was like, that was the tweet I put out, was like, we couldn't find anybody else. And I get what you talked about with your point. It was either Randy or Billy had said, that was Zito doing him right, getting him to a good team. But God, I mean, Vegas is a good team, right? We could have sent him to Vegas. Did it have to be to the team that we might play against the coach that we called a cab for? Did it have to be there? Because that's the kind of storylines that come back to bite you in the ass. You know what I mean?
Well, hopefully that won't happen.
Yeah, hopefully not. You know me, I got my superstitions, so it is what it is. All right, guys. This was good. My eyes are doing better each day. So it just happens some years. The first month of spring, if winter drags on, I'm usually okay. But we had a ridiculously warm first 2 weeks of March. So everything on the planet is blooming and pollen, and so my eyes have been bad. They'll be fine by the playoffs, so don't worry. This just some years it just gets me where it doesn't matter how much antihistamine I take, doesn't matter the eye drops. You can see my eyes are poofy this morning. It's just allergies and the pollen, so we'll be good. All right. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Like Stu always says, we love to see the comments. I've been trying to get better at answering the comments. As long as I'm not blind, I will go in there and read the comments. And as long as Google Chrome would stop taking away my dark mode. I get an app that works for dark mode, and then it works. And then like all of a sudden I wonder how long I've been looking at the light screen because the dark mode keeps disappearing. So I think I have that fixed. And that's it. Today is Wednesday, so tomorrow is Thursday. I should be back tomorrow with the live stream 1 hour before the game. And then Stu and I will be back Friday morning, or we'll do it Thursday night and put it out Friday. You never know what we're going to do.
Yeah, most probably it will be Friday morning because if I go to the game, I get home late. So
that's right. You go on Thursday night. So, okay. All right, guys. Appreciate all the support. We'll see you in the next video.